Hello, Fashion TV. This is Aishwarya. Enjoy the show. Peace out.
When you think of Aishwarya Rai, what comes to mind?
Film, your biggest worldwide film success.
Well, I think the first movie that not so long ago was Devdas that premiered at the Cannes Festival, and that kind of got people talking and noticing me.
Yeah.
The ethereal Miss World 1994 who captured hearts worldwide.
And Miss World 1994 is Miss India.
The Bollywood queen who graced countless magazine covers. The woman Time magazine called one of the most influential people in the world.
Globally, you're an enormous star, aren't you? You could go to any place on the globe.
No, it just evokes from you, so.
No.
Yes, all of that. But here's what most people don't know. Beneath that flawless exterior is a woman who's fought battles most of us never see. A woman who comes from a simple middle-class family. A woman who faced harassment in a male-dominated industry and chose dignity over drama.
Facts that have never really pandered to and catered to the media all these years is because then it's this ridiculous pattern that follows where you are offering explanations for lies that you don't need to.
A woman who was body-shamed after motherhood and responded with grace that left her critics speechless. This isn't a story about a beauty queen who had it all handed to her.
I like to romanticize about life, but I don't lose perspective of it at the same time.
This is the story of Aishwarya, the daughter of a marine biologist who studied hard, scored 90% in her exams, and once dreamed of being an architect. The girl who almost said no to Miss India because she wanted to focus on her studies. The woman who understood early that in this industry, silence is often the most powerful weapon. Let's pull back the curtain and meet the real Aishwarya Rai. Aishwarya Rai was born in 1973 in Mangalore into a traditional Tulu-speaking family. Her father was a marine biologist, her mother a homemaker, and her older brother an engineer. This wasn't a Bollywood family. This was a family where education mattered, where grades were celebrated, and where discipline was non-negotiable. And Aishwarya? She excelled. She attended Arya Vidya Mandir High School in Mumbai, where she didn't just pass, she dominated. She said herself that she always got first rank, except for one time in 7th grade when she came second. That's not the profile of someone coasting on looks. That's someone who understood the value of hard work from day one. After high school, she went to Jai Hind College and then D.G. Ruparel College, where she scored 90% in her higher secondary exams. She wanted to be an architect. She enrolled at Rachana Sansad Academy of Architecture with clear plans for her future. But fate, as they say, had other ideas. Before any of the glamour entered her life, Aishwarya was just a girl in Mumbai, fluent in Tulu, Hindi, and English.
I can speak about 4 languages.
What are those?
And
Indian?
I do understand, yeah.
Okay, tell me the 4 languages.
Hindi, Marathi, my mother tongue Tulu, and broken Tamil as well.
Trained in classical dance and music for 5 years, living a disciplined, structured life. When modeling opportunities came knocking, she initially rejected film offers. In fact, she once said that if she hadn't participated in Miss India, the film Raja Hindustani would have been her first movie. She wanted to step back from the film industry, not dive into it head first. But at 18, she won a Ford supermodel contest that landed her in American Vogue. Then came the Pepsi ad with Amir Khan that made her a household name.
Hi, I'm Sanjana. Got another Pepsi?
And in 1994, the unthinkable happened. She won Miss World. Not because she chased it, but because when opportunity met preparation, magic happened. People saw the crown. They didn't see the girl who'd spent years balancing textbooks and rehearsals, who'd prioritized education over stardom, who understood that beauty fades, but intelligence endures. Let's be honest, Bollywood in the 1990s and early 2000s was brutal for women. Male stars could have decades-long careers, while actresses were considered too old by 30. Double standards weren't just prevalent, they were celebrated. In an early interview, Aishwarya herself acknowledged this reality, stating that Bollywood is a male-dominated industry where double standards exist. The masses looked for the hero, and heroes lasted longer than heroines. That was the unwritten rule, and everyone knew it. But Aishwarya didn't play by those rules. She carved out her own path, choosing roles that showcased her talent rather than just her beauty. From her debut in Mani Ratnam's Iruvar to her Filmfare award-winning performance in Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, she proved she wasn't just a pretty face. Critics praised her work in Devdas, which became the first Bollywood film screened at Cannes. She tackled complex characters in Choker Bali and Raincoat, proving her range extended far beyond the typical Bollywood heroine tropes. But success in Bollywood came with its own price. In a revealing interview with Simi Garawal, Aishwarya disclosed something shocking. At the peak of her career, she was suddenly dropped from 5 major films, all opposite Shah Rukh Khan.
You were working together in 5 films, weren't you? Ash. Ash. Visara was written to you. Yes, at the time there was talk about a couple of films that we'd be working together. And then suddenly they weren't happening with no explanation whatsoever.
No explanation, no warning, just removed. Her response? She didn't become bitter. She called it a learning experience, saying it opened her eyes to how the industry works, the power plays, the domino effects, the politics. She added that it made her realize this could happen to anyone, regardless of box office success or positioning. That's when you understand Aishwarya's strength. She didn't fight these injustices with public tantrums or social media rants. She fought them by continuing to work, by holding her head high, by letting her work speak louder than any controversy. Perhaps the most defining moment of Aishwarya's personal strength came during her tumultuous relationship with Salman Khan. Their romance in the late 1990s was public knowledge, but what happened behind closed doors was something most people didn't know about until much later. Aishwarya finally spoke about it in an interview with the Times of India, revealing that after they broke up, Salman would call and talk rubbish, suspected her of having affairs with co-stars, and created scenes on her film sets. He broke into her house in an inebriated state. He showed up drunk on the sets of Chalte Chalte and created such chaos that she was replaced. He rammed his car into hers on the sets of Kuch Na Kaho. Her father had to file a police complaint. This was domestic violence. This was harassment. This was a powerful man using his industry clout to terrorize a woman who had the courage to leave him. And how did Aishwarya respond? With silence that spoke volumes. Ad Guru Prahalad Kakar later revealed that Aishwarya didn't speak a single word about the breakup beyond her initial statement. She realized early that her silence was her dignity and strength. In a 2002 interview, she addressed the situation by saying it was sad she was being projected as unprofessional and calculating, when the truth was that work was her healing factor. She pointedly added that it's a male-dominated industry, and it's been difficult for many to digest a woman holding her own with dignity. This is what people don't talk about enough. Aishwarya was one of the first Bollywood actresses to publicly identify and oppose domestic violence. She walked away from an abusive relationship when the entire industry was protecting the abuser. She continued working despite the harassment. She refused to hide or apologize or shrink herself. In today's #MeToo era, she'd be celebrated as a survivor. Back then, she was blamed, questioned, and labeled difficult. But Aishwarya understood something profound. Responding to chaos with more chaos gives your abuser power. Responding with silence and continued success, that's the ultimate revenge. If you think fame means freedom, think again. For Aishwarya, becoming Mrs. Bachchan in 2007 and embracing motherhood in 2011 meant stepping into an even harsher spotlight. After giving birth to her daughter Aradhya, Aishwarya faced vicious criticism for her post-pregnancy weight. Videos titled, "Aishwarya's Shocking Weight Gain" went viral with over 500,000 views. Headlines screamed, "Fat Aishwarya Rai." Comments flooded in saying it was her duty to look good and stay fit as a public figure. The woman who'd been declared the most beautiful woman in the world was now being body shamed for doing what every mother's body does, changing to nurture new life. Her response? Iconic. In an interview, she firmly stated that her weight gain wasn't something that deserved attention. It was normal, natural, whether from weight gain or water retention. She was comfortable in her skin. If she'd wanted to lose weight overnight, she could have. But that wasn't the choice she was making. She continued, saying she stepped out in public when she could take time from her baby, and if she'd thought it was a big deal, she'd have been in hiding. But she wasn't disturbed by it. And then came the mic drop moment. If people were, well, I hope they enjoyed the drama because I was busy leading a very real life with my baby. Water off a duck's back, she told her husband when he was upset by the nasty comments. No self-doubt, no apologies, just pure, unapologetic confidence. And here's what makes this even more remarkable. Aishwarya returned to Cannes. She walked that red carpet not as someone who'd rushed to conform to beauty standards, but as a new mother who prioritized her child over public opinion. Today, Aishwarya Rai is a global icon. She's been a Cannes jury member, has a wax statue at Madame Tussauds, holds the Padma Shri from the government of India, and the Ordre des Arts et des Lettres from France. She's represented India on countless international platforms, become a goodwill ambassador for UNAIDS, and continues to be one of Bollywood's most respected actresses. But ask anyone who knows her, and they'll tell you the same thing. She's still that simple girl from Mangalore. She's the actress who insisted on delaying her French award ceremony because her father was ill and she wanted her whole family present. She's the mother who took a 5-year sabbatical from films to raise Aradhya, prioritizing her daughter over box office numbers. She's the woman who created the Aishwarya Rai Foundation to help needy people, who promotes eye donation and polio eradication, who lays foundations for schools for underprivileged girls. She dislikes being called Ash or Aish, politely insisting people use her full name because she doesn't want to spoil her good name. That's not diva behavior. That's respect for the identity her parents gave her. Director Sabyasachi once said, "Ash is as beautiful inside as she is outside." It's difficult for people to digest that, so they conveniently conclude the sweet exterior hides a devious inner life. But the truth is simpler. She's exactly who she appears to be, gracious, dignified, and unapologetically herself. So what does Aishwarya Rai's story teach us? That beauty might open doors, but it's character that keeps them open. That silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the most powerful statement you can make. That choosing dignity over drama isn't being passive, it's being strategic. That you can be both feminine and feminist, both graceful and strong. Aishwarya faced a male-dominated industry and refused to be diminished by it. She survived domestic violence and chose not to let it define her. She was body-shamed after motherhood and responded by living her truth confidently. Through it all, she never lost sight of who she was, a simple girl with strong values, a love for her family, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. In a world that constantly tries to reduce women to their appearance, their age, their relationship status, or their ability to bounce back after pregnancy, Aishwarya Rai stands as proof that you don't have to choose between success and self-respect. You don't have to fight every battle publicly to win the war. You don't have to sacrifice who you are to become who the world wants you to be. The crown may have made her famous, but her character made her legendary. And that's the real story of Aishwarya Rai. Not the beauty queen the world fell in love with, but the woman who never stopped being herself, no matter how bright the spotlight or how harsh the criticism. The world's diva? Yes, but still that simple girl who values family, education, dignity, and grace above all else. And that's exactly who she always intended to be.